Are you one of those people that likes to talk about UFOs and people usually respond to you like this?
You are one pathetic loser.
What? Are you fucking high?
Oh, what the fuck ever?
You serious?
Rest assured, there's a lot of people that are just like you that enjoy talking about the UFOs, that believe that there is something else out there. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about this article from CNN.com. I know, but it's about UFOs. Relax. And I've got a couple other articles that will be kind of briefly going over from some things from the release last year, the declassified information, and so on. But without further ado, monkeys, roll the footage.
I'm sick of it. It's completely amateur. You guys can't scare me. I know you're making it all up. Sure, you guys. Whatever.
Oh boy, the aliens are going to make first contact.
Yeah, that works.
I like
all right.
it.
Okay. All right, moving on.
Hey, what about Tulip?
They said we get to fuck.
Public UFO hearings in decades. This came out yesterday evening, CNN.com. I wanted to talk about this. This is a brief article. Then I've got a couple more, and we'll just kind of talk a little bit about the topic of UFOs here. Welcome back. I know this is something we don't normally cover, but it's very interesting to me that this is coming to the forefront now amidst all the other turmoil that we're, going through here, not only in the U.S., but throughout the world. So we're going to talk about some UFOs. House panel will hold an open congressional hearing next Tuesday about UFOs for the first time in over 50 years. It will focus on a Pentagon program that was established last year after the U.S. intelligence community released a preliminary assessment on 144 reports of unidentified aerial phenomena since 2004. And could explain only one. The House Intelligence Committee's Subcommittee on Counterterrorism, Counterintelligence, and Counterproliferation will hold the public hearing on May 17th at 10 a.m. Eastern. It will be followed by a closed, classified hearing on the Pentagon program known as the Airborne Object Identification and Management Synchronization Group. Boy, they really, really like wordy names, don't they? The two witnesses are Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security Ronald S. Moultrie and Deputy Director of Naval Intelligence Scott W. Bray. Now, there was a time in the military, or basically even as a civilian, when if you were adamant about having seen something like this or experienced this phenomena, especially as a military personnel, you were pretty much shunned. And now it's with the instant information age and all that we know about the vastness of space and the universe, it's a very different animal. Things like this are taken a lot more seriously. Still obviously met with a certain degree of skepticism, which things like this should be. You shouldn't blanketly accept or deny anything.
Liar!
Along these lines without some measure of investigation or at least doing a little bit of your own research. There's resources available through the wonders of the interwebs.
Yup!
The American people expect and deserve their leaders in government and intelligence to seriously evaluate and respond to any potential national security risks, especially those we do not fully understand, said Indiana Democratic Rep. Andre Carson, the chairman of the subcommittee holding the hearing, in a statement. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff, a California Democrat, added that the hearing would give the public an opportunity to hear directly from the subject matter experts and leaders in the intelligence community on one of the greatest mysteries of our time and break the cycle of excessive secrecy and speculation with truth and transparency. That's funny coming from Adam Schiff, talking about truth and transparency. That joke writes itself. The New York Times first reported on this hearing. In a briefing on Tuesday, Pentagon spokesman John Kirby said the Defense Department will try to make sure we have a better process for identifying these phenomena, analyzing that information in a more proactive, coordinated way than it's been done in the past. He said the Pentagon will also attempt to mitigate any safety issues that arise since many of these phenomena are reported near training areas. But Arkansas GOP Representative Rick Crawford, the top Republican on the relevant House Intelligence Subcommittee, called into question the Democrats' move to hold the hearing considering other national security concerns. With Russia and China developing hypersonic weapons and the Biden administration leaking alleged U.S. military operations in Ukraine, we have far more serious intelligence threats than flying saucers, Crawford said. What if the flying saucers attack us in Ukraine? Here's some excerpts from the article from Politico that I found. It says a number of congressional oversight committees have been grappling with this issue, speaking on the UFO topic, since revelations first reported by Politico and the New York Times in 2017 that the Pentagon had a secret UFO research office and multiple Navy pilots and radar operators came forward with their testimonies of encounters with strange high-performance craft. The scheduled hearing is a deliberate attempt by lawmakers to ensure the American people have access to information that their tax dollars paid for in the first place, said Luis Elizondo, former Pentagon official who came forward in 2017 with his frustrations that not enough attention was being paid to understanding the aerial intrusions. Given the fact that most of these encounters occur next to military installations, training facilities, what have you, it is natural that some attention should be paid to this, if not for finding out what they are, but for the security of our military personnel and installations. And I know that, being pro-military in this country is kind of looked down on by certain people, but certainly not me, as I have a lot of friends and family who have served and did serve, and they deserve security. If there's objects, coming into close contact with, especially pilots, and we've heard stories from these pilots that they are outmatched by these craft, by the quickness, the maneuverability of them. So we need to look into this and find out anything that we can, especially if they one day, and I'm conjecturing here, what if they became hostile? We've always operated under the assumption that we're the top of the food chain, but honestly, like I spoke earlier in the video about the vastness of space and how our galaxy is just one small corner of it, that our minds can't grasp how much more is out there than what is, directly around us, or even in our world or our continent even. So for us as a species to continually feel like we're the top of the food chain is
sheer fucking hubris.
A little more here from the Politico article. The Director of National Intelligence issued a public report in June of 2021 at the request of the Senate Intelligence Committee that outlined 144 reports of unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, in recent years, including 18 incidents in which observers reported unusual UAP movement patterns or flight characteristics. Some UAP appeared to remain stationary in winds aloft, move against the wind, maneuver abruptly, or move at considerable speed without discernible means of propulsion, the report said. In a small number of cases, military aircraft systems processed radio frequency energy associated with UAP sightings. So you're talking about actual military, personnel experiencing these, being part of these encounters, which would tend to lend more validity to the fact that there is something obviously greater than us that at times feels it necessary to come check in on us and let us know that we're being watched, basically. Which is a eerie feeling, considering with the ease that they come and go.
Hello, boys! I'm back!
At the time, Carson said he was determined to hold public hearings, saying that we can't rule out that something is otherworldly. The defense bill adopted in December also required the Pentagon to develop an intelligence collection and analysis plan to gain as much knowledge as possible regarding the technical and operational characteristics, origins, and intentions of unidentified aerial phenomena. That includes identifying personnel across the government to respond rapidly to incidents or patterns of observations. It also required an annual report and semi-annual briefings for Congress with descriptions of all UAP incidents, such as those associated with military nuclear assets, including strategic nuclear weapons and nuclear-powered ships and submarines, the bill stated. Closed-door briefings on the Pentagon's progress in carrying out the legislation have begun in recent weeks, but a number of lawmakers expressed dismay that the Pentagon is still not taking the topic seriously enough, as Politico reported last week. And as we said earlier, the session will mark the first time Congress has convened a public hearing on the issue since the Air Force oversaw the inconclusive UFO investigation called Project Blue Book that concluded in 1969. And I've watched a lot of YouTube videos and specials, that have been uploaded to YouTube about that, and it's so fascinating to me as somebody who is a science fiction fan and not as much a student of astronomy and the universe as I should be, but it's very fascinating to me to listen to people talk about this and to watch specials that delve into this topic, because we wonder, will we ever see this in our lifetimes? And I know generations have asked themselves that question, and we're just one in the long line of many. But to me, it's almost like a Pandora's box. Once it's opened, anything that comes out can't be put back in.
The box. You opened it. We came.
It seems to me we have enough trouble here now as it is, let alone, unleashing otherworldly phenomena into our world, which could be catastrophic. It has been something like 50 years since there's been a congressional hearing, said Alejandro Rojas, a journalist and UFO researcher who has studied the history of the phenomena. But even then, it doesn't seem that Congress was serious as they are now. They want to actually see government UFO hunting. He said a big question remains whether national security agencies are serious about taking direction from Congress. There seems to be a big disconnect between Congress and what the DoD is delivering, Rojas said. They are being accused of dragging their feet. It is a very strong message that Congress is sending that they want action. Elizondo, who said he feels vindicated, and said he hopes the hearing will be the first of multiple sessions to help dislodge what he contends the military and intelligence agencies have been withholding about UAPs. We should look at this as a rare bipartisan opportunity to learn what some have long already known, he said. All right, folks, there you have it. We have the first set of hearings in 50 years on UFOs. Congress, they're asking for more information, clarification. They want the public to be aware of some of these things, which I'm sure they're not going to make us aware of all of the things, especially if they pose a threat. They're not going to go giving us that much truth, because God knows we can't handle that. There's some people that can't handle if somebody uses the wrong pronouns. I'm in favor of any and all information that we can get moving forward about these UAPs. I'd just rather call them UFOs. But like I said, let's tread lightly and be careful, because that Pandora's box, that is true. That is a allegory that could not be more applicable to this situation. But let me know what you think in the comments. Do all the YouTube things, ladies and gentlemen. Members get thanked proper right at the end of the video. I'm Temple Queen of the Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all of yous. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Get your own.
Take that, you bitch!
Oh, what the hell?
How'd you like that?
Hey, joke's on you, I have hepatitis.
Boom! I could do